Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. All right, so we are on I think this is day 10 of this 30-day challenge. I'm talking to you about the different obstacles that I had to overcome in my own fitness and weight loss journey, my own transformation journey. And today I want to talk about this is a big one. This is a big one because it kept me stuck for a long time, and I've also heard lots of other people struggle with this as well in their own life. So the big theme, the big topic today is the story. I'm doing everything right. It must be my body that's the problem. So this story haunted me after I had been doing intuitive eating and not getting any results, and then I decided to try the paleo diet. And if you know anything about the paleo diet, a big theme that they share. So the idea is you're basically eating meat and vegetables is what you're eating. So no beans, no refined carbs, no anything like that. And the big story that I believed, or I'm sorry, the big theme of the paleo diet. And I don't know if this is so much spoken as it is unspoken, but everything that I read from the paleo diet suggested that you don't need to worry about any quantity control of your food as long as you're eating these foods. So the foods are kind of the magic thing. If you eat just meat and vegetables, you can eat as much as you want. You'll still lose weight. And let me tell you, that definitely aligned in my mind both with intuitive eating and clean eating. And so that was a big oh, this is it. I just need to focus on these foods. Long story short, I wanted to believe it, and so I did believe it. And after about 3 months of doing this diet, nothing was happening with my weight. Absolutely nothing. Didn't lose any weight at all. And frantically kept on looking at different paleo sites and why isn't this happening? Why I should be magically losing weight and it's not happening. And nothing was, it just wasn't working. And so the story in my head, and you'll probably see a theme. This is a theme that has run through my life quite a bit. Well, since paleo is right, there must be something wrong with me. And so I took to Google, as any rational person does. And I think I might have mentioned this before, but let me just say it again, and I will probably say it many more times. The funny thing about Google is if you go searching on there for something, you're going to find it. Whatever you are biased towards, you will find proof from Google that you are right. And so that's what I did. And let me tell you, what I found was a whole myriad of reasons why my body just couldn't lose weight. They were all medical. They were all medical, and they ranged from, well, it doesn't matter what they ranged from. There were all these reasons that proved to me, well, my body just can't lose weight. So what I started to realize in this space of being frustrated and stuck, was that the story that, well, my body just can't lose weight. It's something wrong with my body. That did two things for me. One, that made it not my fault. It's not my fault. My body just won't lose weight. And then the second thing that did for me was show me that this is an impossible problem to fix. So that, I just want to highlight there, if it's not my problem and I can't fix it, well, then you're stuck. There is literally no hope for you. So it might feel good in the moment to tell yourself, oh, it's not my fault. That initial dumping of responsibility might feel like a relief, but long term, that's not a road you want to go down. And so what I started to discover as I moved along this path is that when I embraced full responsibility for my body, when I started with the assumption, no, my body is healthy, my body is it's functioning, this is on me. Sure, there was the initial, this is on me, But then I began to feel empowered. Because then that we talked yesterday about a shame spiral. This is like an empowerment circling upwards, where I discovered this is on me, and then I started to question these fixes that I was looking for. And then I began to trust my answers. So no longer was I looking outside for the answer. I was starting with the premise that that I am the standard by which I have to live my life. And guys, I could go into a long story about, especially right now, especially this time when we're dealing with all these conflicting messages on the news and all these different things. Now is the best time to become empowered in your life and to make you the standard. And in that space, so in this space of empowerment, of saying, wait a minute, what results am I seeing? What am I doing? And what can I do to change this? I started to take control in other areas of my life as well. I've talked to you before about just a really low stress one, something that should be piddly. Going to restaurants was difficult for me because I didn't know what to eat, and I would get freaked. I would sort of like freeze and look around and like, what are all my skinny friends eating? Even in that space, I began to become empowered and say, it doesn't matter what other people are eating. What do I want to eat today? What works for my body? And friends, we've had lots of conversations about self-esteem. This is where the path becomes clear. This is the work that I've talked with one of our friends, Nicole, about this. This is the work of building your self-esteem. And the reason I share this with you today, I want you to have self-esteem. I want us all to have self-esteem, of course. But the reason I'm bringing this to you today is because I want you to consider, what stories do you have in your life that are subtly enforcing to yourself that you're a victim in your own life, that you don't have control and that there's nothing you can do? What stories are you telling yourself? The easiest way that I can suggest for you to identify those stories is by doing a simple activity where you get out a piece of paper, you get out your journal, whatever, you sit down and you write out your goal. So I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you've got a goal around weight loss. Write that goal off to one side, and then you're going to write 2 columns next to it. So the column directly next to goal, I want you to set a timer for just 3 minutes, and I want you to write all the reasons you cannot achieve your goal of weight loss. And then after you finish with that, I want you to write another column of all the possibilities, all the possible ways that you can achieve your weight loss goal. Now I want you to think of this, remember you're going to set a timer for 3 minutes each, and I want you to think of this in as playful a way as possible, as creative a way as possible. So this isn't the possible fixes. I don't want you to just think of like, well, there's the paleo diet and the keto diet and the this and the that. I mean, think of anything and everything. Like if you want to say like, oh, well, I lost an arm. That's a way to lose weight. Obviously, that's not an actionable step that you want to happen, but it gets you in that creative space. If you can write down a dozen different ways to lose weight, you're moving in the right direction. So what this is ultimately going to do is help you get very clear on your goals, and then help you get very clear on what's preventing you from hitting those goals, and help you ultimately take power and control back in your life. You've got this. You've got the solutions. The great news is, I think in teaching, my friends and I used to say that moment where you realize this is your circus and those are your monkeys, right? That's it. I know it's scary, but you want to. It's like driving in a fast car. And if you don't like to drive, might not be the analogy for you. But I know for me, if I'm in a dangerous situation in a car, I do not want to be the one in the back seat. I want to be the one in the driver's seat making the choices. And I think if we can all step into that place, I think we'll all feel that together. So give this exercise a shot. Tell me what you think about it in the comments below. And then And then onward we go, building this self-esteem and this control back in our life. Thank you for joining me. I will be back. Don't forget on Saturday, 11 a.m. is my Getting Out of Your Weight Loss Rut webinar. So join me for that on our gym Zoom link. And then that's all I've got for you. So for today. So I will either see you at the gym or I will see you online or tomorrow. I will be back. All of the things. Have a great Wednesday.